Hey guys, it's me Andrew again, your favorite Canadian YouTuber, and I'm back again with another episode of Skylanders Imaginators Guest Stars! Man, hard to believe it's been over a year since I've done one of these. Yeah, I'd say a new episode is long overdue. Anyway, I got a few new creations to share with you today, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to be presenting these in order of what I consider to be from worst to best recreation attempts. Let's start off with a knockout. Quite literally. Kao the Kangaroo.
Can't stop my moves!
Yeah.
Okay, maybe just a few tweaks.
Yeah, I know it doesn't look exactly like him, but believe it or not, this was actually the closest I could get it. Honestly, if you think this head looks bad, you should see what the other ones look like. I'm actually surprised that there isn't a set of arms that have actual boxing gloves. Anyway, yeah, wolf head. Yeah, I know. This actually is the closest thing to a kangaroo I could find in this game. Like, as you can see from this variety of heads here, there's not a whole lot of, like, that actually resemble a kangaroo. Now, does this look more like the OG or reboot KO? Or maybe a mix of the two, or neither? I have no idea. No ears. Those ears are actually a hat. I know, it's mostly, yeah, this is the closest thing to boxing gloves I could find. It's mostly wolf parts. I don't know why, for some reason this was basically the closest I could find to a kangaroo. Zigzag tail. Anyway, 20k carat knuckles. Well, I wasn't quite sure what to use for boxing gloves for this guy. I don't know. Burger fists, crash fists, maybe these bling fists. Or should I just stick with this? Nah. Alright, bunny hat. This was basically the closest thing I could find to KO's ears. I know. Hey, gotta work with what I got here. This is a pretty good creation system with a lot of variety, but also quite a few limitations as well. I tried to make it look a little bit more like gloves with this. I was debating if I should have a backpack, but no. Anyway, these are his size proportions. He's got relatively small legs, so I only give him like lower body around average. His tail nice and wide. Not a whole lot of muscle there, but if you've seen KO, you think you already know that. Upper body, obviously a bit larger. I struggled to make his head just the right size without it looking too awkward. And of course, height. And these are the colors I chose. Feel free to pause the video if you want. I wasn't sure if I should have gave him an aura or not. No. And, of course, Master Boxer. Would you have it any other way? I wasn't quite sure what to give KO for the elemental ability, so I just went with, like, this thing that you disguise yourself as a sheep to fool enemies. And, of course, an uppercut. I was thinking maybe this, but...
Can't stop my moves!
I wasn't quite sure what to do for KO's voice, so I just went with this. If you're wondering why there's no music playing, it's because, as in some of my past episodes of Skylanders Imaginators Guest Stars, I keep getting copyright claims for the music in game, saying there's some kind of weird, obscure classical songs that I've never even heard of, that I'm infringing on copyright just for playing the in-game music. So, I'm not even going to deal with that crap now. I do the Imagine I Volt thing, but I'm not sure if anyone even still has the app, or if it's even worth it at this rate, since they don't even make the custom figures anymore. Anyway, what do you guys think of my attempt at Kao the Kangaroo? I know it's like far from perfect. In fact, I think this is quite possibly my least greatest recreation attempt out of all the ones I'm going to show today. But what the heck? Doesn't look quite as bad from the distance, I'll say that. Oh, you're challenging me, huh? How about this? Give me the old 1-2. Heyo! Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a little sheep walking by. And BAM! Oh my god, baby!
Can't stop my moves!
So, what do you guys think? I think I've had enough of that. This next one I struggled quite a bit with to try and get right. I'm not sure if whether one of you think this is better or worse than my KO attempt. I'll leave you guys to decide that. Anyway, next up is Shiver from Splatoon 3.
I rule over the music.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what changes lie in store.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, this is pretty much the closest I could possibly get to Shiver. In Fry, it was even more difficult to try and attempt to recreate, so I didn't even bother with her. As you can see here, the tentacle hair is quite different from in the game. And there is a head that has hair hanging over one eye. I was going to use that at first, but the head and facial shape just wasn't right. So this elf enchantress here was like the closest thing to her facial and head proportions I could find. And I decided to give her heart eyes for this one, because why not? Deep glow ears. I actually wasn't sure what kind of ears to give her at first. I was thinking maybe these, or maybe these. Yeah, no, never mind. And of course, I also struggled to find the right outfit that would simulate her, the outfit she wears, like with the thing hanging over and the wraps underneath and whatnot. So, yeah. Bare arms, of course. Queen legs. I did have trouble figuring out which legs I should give her at first, though. Then I found these and I figured, you know what the heck. You'll probably never get this image out of your head. I gave her this really wide beaver tail because it's meant to look like a part of her outfit, like drapes hanging down or something. You'll probably never unsee that. Messy painter. I figured this is the closest thing to a brush. I was thinking about making her a quick shot at first, but wasn't quite sure what kind of weapon she prefers, so I just went with this. The Octohawk. And yes, this is the same hat I used for my Octoling Skylander recreation. Unfortunately, I tried every single hat or headgear available. I couldn't find a single one that would hang over her eye or even come close to matching this, so I just went with this. Pretend it's a new hairstyle for her. And the tailed cape. This is also the closest thing I could find to her tentacle hair on the back just hanging down. And yeah, I gotta work with what I got here. Size proportions. I was thinking about making her legs a bit longer, but I figured this was good. Now the head size, I wasn't quite sure what to make it. This was too big, this was too small, so I just went with this. This is definitely too small. Because, Inklings have relatively large heads, and Octolings too, I think you get the point. And of course, they are skinny, hardly any muscle. Alright, these are the part themes. These are the colors I used. I was thinking about giving her an aura, like, that's a bit creepy what she's doing with the eyes. Like, maybe, this one. Or maybe bubbles. Yeah, actually it looks kind of nice.
All right.
So, what do you guys think? I decided to go with this, since, like, you know, you swing it around. I decided, for my Octoling, I chose this, because the closest thing to, like, splatting and whatnot. But here, I decided to have her summon, like, pet piranhas and stuff. Sort of like, similar to either her shark or Shiver's eels. I decided to go with Hypnotize. Oh, and personality, of course. Sorry about that.
I rule over the music.
Yeah, I went with the underwater voice effect to like simulate the Inkling talk and whatnot. Wasn't quite sure what to do. Anyway, let's see Shiver in action.
Carry on.
You know what?
Ooh, what shall we do next, Portal Master?
You know what, let's try this actually.
See what happens when you pick on me?
I think it speaks for itself.
The music.
So, what do you think? I know it's not perfect, far from it by any means, but this was the closest I can get to Shiver. So, what do you think? Is this better or worse than my KO attempt? I'll let you decide that. Anyway, I think I talked about that long enough. Alright, the next one is one I'm sure a lot of you really have been eager to see. And it's definitely one of my better ones so far. I think you already know who it is. Next up, Purah.
Check out my steel.
So I think we can at least agree it's at least a bit better than my attempts at Shiver and KO. But hey, what do you think? I give her the librarian head. This seems only fitting. Human eyes. No ears. Originally I was going to give her the queen torso. I imagine that red shirt is white. But when it turns out like the front patterns, I decided to go with this. Adventurer's arms, because they have those gloves and whatnot. Queen legs. Yeah, I figured these were the best for her. Oh, I was actually debating between this and was the princess legs or something else? I forget, but hey, I figured this came the closest with the patterns and whatnot. No tail, unless you want her to have one. I don't know. I wasn't quite sure what her weapon should be. I made her a sorcerer, tech sorcerer, tech because she's a scientist, and sorcerer because I figured this would be the closest to like her moveset in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, you know, with her and Robbie. Also, this golden crystal staff here is like kind of reminds me of the scepters in game where you attach a gem and it has elemental effects. Or maybe I was thinking like this crystal staff here. I mean this gear staff. Or would you rather just stick with this? Anyway. I know, this is really weird, but out of all the head pieces, this was pretty much the closest I could find to her, to like the top of her hair there. And none of them really have like goggles on the top, I don't think. Well, actually one of them does, but it doesn't look quite right. Wasn't sure if I should give her anything on the back or not. Anyway, up. Yep, lower body up to the max, because I think sorcerers have shorter legs than other classes for some reason. Probably because they're always hovering. Small head, don't want her head to be too big. Upper body, muscles, nicely balanced. Also, I was debating on whether or not if I should give her an aura, like maybe electrons, fireflies, I don't know. These are the colors. Oh, I guess that's it. For her powers, Master Enchanter. I think this comes a little bit closer to one of her moves in Age of Calamity. This here, I decided to go with this because it's basically the closest thing to like the Master Cycle. I figured that would be cool. Same with this. You'll probably never get that out of your head. Sorry about that.
Check out my steel. Check out my steel.
Yeah, this was pretty much the closest thing to like her short but iconic signature catchphrase. Check it. Yeah, check out was pretty much the closest thing to check it. I think you get the point. Alright.
I'm back.
Alright, Purah. Show us what you got.
Check out my steel.
I forgot when you go out of the ring, it despawns the enemies.
Check out my steel.
Pretty cool if you ask me. And yes, that is the mastered tech bike or whatever it's called. So, what do you think? I know it's not perfect, but pretty close to Purah, right? Anyway, this next one I'm sure some of you might have been eager to see. I think this one turned out a little bit better than Purah, but some of you might disagree with that. I'll let you decide that. Next up is the President's daughter, Ashley Graham.
Hear that? Sounds like disaster. Think you can improve on this? Hey, be my guest.
So, what do you think? Do you think this one, recreation attempt-wise, looks better than Purah, or do you think Purah looks better? I'll let you decide that. Because this one's definitely better than the first two, for sure. In my opinion, at least. Bobbed and beautiful. Self-explanatory. Yeah, these heads take a while to load in. Human eyes. No ears. Queen torso. At first, I was thinking about giving her the pilot's chest, you know, like Flynn's jacket, you know, like, because that's like the full orange jacket with the scarf and everything. And maybe some, like, more clothed arms. I decided to go with this instead. What do you think? Athletic legs. I wasn't quite sure which legs to pick. I wasn't sure if I should go with like a skirt or shorts, because you know she has like a skirt. I think that's what it's called. No tail, unless you really want her to have one, like To be honest, I have no idea where the whole Mauschli thing comes from, and I find it really weird, and I really don't want to know where it comes from. Forget I said anything. Alright, now for the guns. There's only like one instance in the game where she was seen holding a gun, as far as I'm aware. To be honest, I really wish you could just let her carry a gun so she could defend herself, but that's just me. I was actually debating on whether if I should give her these Tommy guns or maybe this double-barrel shotgun handheld things. I decided to go with this. No headgear. Wasn't sure if I should give her any headgear or not. Let's see, like height, lower body, up to the max. Yeah, she's like not very buff, so I gave her. And of course, you know, like I don't want her head to be too big. I want to have just the right balance. Let's see, colors, you know, like mostly orange and stuff. Wasn't sure if I should give her. And then again, she probably doesn't really need an aura. Marksman. The reason why I chose, actually, I didn't know what element to give her at first, because I didn't know. I just tried to look through my creation crystals to see if I've already had a pre-made quick shot class already done and leveled up enough to unlock all the legendary parts. So I wouldn't have to go through the process of making one all over again. And I found I had previously made a dark quick shot, so I decided to go with this. And then again, you know, like she was like possessed by the cult and whatnot, so I figured this might be fitting. I don't know. Sorry about that.
Hear that? Sounds like disaster.
Yeah, I didn't know what catchphrase to give her, so, yeah, just forget about it. That wasn't really, top of my priority when I was designing her and whatnot.
Look who's back in action.
Knock him dead, Ashley. Yeah, when they get, it's kind of hard to, like, when they get really close to you. Imagine if she could actually do that in the game.
Take that. Hear that? Sounds like disaster.
Anyway, what do you think of Ashley? Do you like her or not so much? Well, let me know in the comments. Alright, this next one is one that I think is like among my top 2 best ones I'm going to be showcasing tonight. And I hope you like it. For those of you who have played Bendy in the Dark Revival, I think you should already know who she is. Say hello to the daughter of Joey Drew, Audrey.
I am one with the dark.
My skills are beyond those of my enemies.
So, what do you think? I think this one definitely turned out better than most of the others, in my opinion at least. I know it doesn't look exactly like her, but pretty close for the most part. Got the braided head there. And glowy eyes, definitely for sure. I know this looks really weird. You probably didn't notice that she has corn ears. I did it to sort of like bring out sort of like the round ball poofiness in her hair, like, you know, she has like an old school 70s hairstyle. Now, this is probably the one that I struggle with the most, trying to find the right torso, because none of them really have like the ink splatter pattern on it or anything like that, so trying to find the right like pattern that matches what kind of clothes she wears, and as well as the colors options and whatnot, that was very difficult. This was the closest I could find. Same with her arms, because thing is, you know, like one of her arms is like all black and has like glowy lines on it and more claw-like fingers that she uses to, you know, like banish enemies and whatnot. But with these, most of the arms are like symmetrical, so trying to find the right balance was not easy. At least the legs were a bit more simple for the most part. I was thinking about maybe giving her like a devil-like tail or something, but you know, kind of like Bendy, but never mind. I figured this sword kind of matched with her, you know, a black and yellow aesthetic the best. I was thinking about maybe giving her this one. This sort of match Alice and Angel's sword, but if you're wondering why I gave her the mohawk, it's because, like, once again, I was trying to, like, get, like, the poof on the top of her head a little more visible, and I guess that was the closest thing I can get to it. And not to mention, don't forget that she is Lord Amok, and most of the cult members of the Amok cult have a mohawk, so I figure it was only fitting. You know, I'm surprised they don't really go much deeper into that whole Lord Amok thing after that one scene. I guess it was like a one-off joke moment in the game. It would have been pretty cool if like near the final boss fight at the end, she would have command over her cult, and they would come in to help her for Lord Amok. And I guess this was the closest thing to like those like glowy power things on her arm. Hey, what do you think? Let's see, small head, height and lower body to the max, small muscles, you know, like she's petite and whatnot. Decent size there. It's mostly just a lot of, like, black and, like, really bright yellow, or, like, light brownish, yellowish colors. I think you get the point. I was thinking about maybe giving her an aura, like maybe something like this, or maybe this. Or do you think she looks fine without it? Let's see, Master Duelist, Ground Stab. Now, this one here is why I chose Dark. Not just because it's Bendy in the Dark Revival, but, as you know, like, this Master Pull of Darkness is definitely the closest thing to the ink. That's for sure. Wasn't quite sure if I should give her any music to listen to or anything. Anyway, squishy, because, you know, ink.
I am one with the dark.
Or maybe just not have an effect.
I am one with the dark.
Alright.
I am one with the dark. I am one with the dark.
So, what do you guys think of Audrey? Do you think I did a good job with her? Guys, I think this is definitely one of my better attempts at recreating a character so far. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Back to the world.
Alright. You can see what I mean here.
I am one with the dark.
Yeah, this is definitely the closest thing to the ink, that's for sure. And then due to the ink puddles.
Guess I'm just on a higher plane.
So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Now, this next one, I'm not going to go into depth on, because the design is very simplistic, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. This next one, I wasn't entirely sure if I really wanted to make at first, but someone requested me to, and it turns out like which ones that I was able to make, which ones I could find the right parts for. Of all the requests I got, this was one of the few I was able to get almost exactly right, with surprisingly little effort. So this next one, I'm sure some of you probably already know who it is. It's a very popular game, probably more popular than it has any right to be. You know, I'm just gonna say it. Jumbo Josh from Garten to Banban. Let's see what we got here.
Get ready for nothing. Oh yeah! Me awesome!
Yeah, I think this is pretty self-explanatory here. I basically just used like the slime monster set because that is basically it. I know it looks kind of lazily designed, but that again, so is the original Jumbo Josh. So yeah, it didn't really take a whole lot of effort for me to like recreate him and make him look as spot on as I could get. Obviously, he looks more slimy than clay-like, and like he does in the game, but I think you get the point. So yeah, plain mallet. Green, green, green. I think you get the point. Didn't mean to do that. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into depth on this.
For nothing.
I have no idea what his catchphrase should be, since I don't think he actually talks in the game.
Let's get it on.
Anyway, I know a lot of people. I know this game is very popular, though frankly, maybe a little too popular. I see it popping up everywhere, like, and I mean everywhere, like it's practically taken over the internet. And frankly, no offense to anyone who likes the game, but I'm personally not really a big fan of it. I only did this because it's one of the few I was able to almost accurately recreate with the right parts, and yeah, it's, you know, someone asked me to, so I decided to just make this like a quick one. Anyway, yeah, as much as considering, you know, there are, like, in my opinion, there are much better indie mascot horror games out there that don't get nearly as much recognition or support as this game has. And speaking of which, my last one, quite possibly my best one, is a character from said much better indie mascot horror game, and one of the best in my opinion, is the farmer from Happy's Humble Burger Farm.
Power before evil.
Yeah, if you've seen Happy's Humble Burger Farm, like if you know what the farmer looks like, I'd say this is... I consider this to be quite possibly my my best attempt at recreating a character so far. You might remember 1 or 2 episodes ago, I attempted to recreate Happy the Humble Heifer, but I couldn't find any cow parts, and it just didn't look very good. But this is definitely a much better attempt in my opinion. But hey, what do you guys think? Obviously, the farmer in the game, he's more like... I guess he's more like wide in the middle, whereas here has like a bit of a thin, almost hourglass-like shape-ish. And that's just because of the parts. Anyway, he doesn't actually have an eye patch. I just chose the pirate head because it has like the right beard shape and whatnot, the right facial proportions. The Digger torso because it's the only one that has, like, you know, overalls. I wasn't quite sure what arms to choose at first, because none of them really have a plaid design. But I decided to go with this one. They look, I'd say they look fitting enough. Adventurer's legs, because, you know, like, overalls or have, like, jean-like pattern on them, and I was looking through, like, the jeans type legs, and this was the best I could find. And, you know, he doesn't have a belt, but what the heck. And, yeah, nah. And also, this is the main reason why I chose the Sentinel class for him, and one of the main reasons why I decided to recreate the farmer in the first place, because the scythe weapon here, this double scythe.
Many have fallen by my scythe.
I think, yeah, sorry about that. A boulder hat, you know, like just the right hat. Man, these models take quite a while to load in. And of course, right next to it is another hat that also works pretty well. Like, if you look like the farmer's, like, restaurant mascot has, like, a smaller hat. That would fit it. This is like pretty much the exact one it has-ish. At first I was thinking about maybe giving it some fries. I didn't color it. But no. Anyways, you can see here his height, upper body, just about everything is toned all the way up. Except for the head, because I didn't want to make the head too big. And these are the color patterns. I was debating whether or not if I should give him an aura or not, but, you know what, no. I think he's fine without it. Yeah, swinging the scythe. Oh, and of course I chose the undead element, just like happy, and of course, you know, like, Soul Stealer, last laugh. I decided to go with this. I was thinking debating whether or not I should have chosen Soul Stealer. I didn't know what to choose for this other attack here, so I decided to just go with the spin attack here. I was debating on maybe making him dance to like country music or something, but I'm sorry, like that kind of just ruins it.
Power before evil!
I will admit, I did have trouble deciding on what his catchphrase should be. I went through quite a few options. There's not a whole lot of them related to death, so I just went with this. The close thing was Doom, but I didn't think that sounded right, so what the heck.
Game on!
Alright.
Power before evil!
Got to get end by the side.
Victory rules!
That didn't sound... Whatever.
Spooky undead!
So hey, what did you guys think of this episode of Skylanders Imaginators Guest Stars? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments. I think the farmer turned out the best out of the months them, but that's just me. If you think other specific ones look any better, well, please let me know. Thanks for watching.